The lady doth protest too much, methinks. A quote from Hamlet, William Shakespeare, written many, many years ago, around 1599, 1600. And, I think same is true when it comes to certain politicians. And I believe it is the case with Senator Ted Cruz, that he protesteth too much. He talks about his record of honesty, of truthfulness, and all those things, and even went so far as to say that that the way he delivered his speech underscored his level of honesty, commitment, and unwavering, uncompromising attitude as a politician. I beg to differ. I call it stubbornness, and also using a personal agenda. And I'm not the only one that thinks that way. Many in the conservative party think that way to some degree or another, whether it's Governor Sarah Palin, Governor Mike Huckabee, as well as others. They have spoken out. You can find their posts on social media. They felt like this was a Rick Santorum. Many felt like that this was the wrong move. And I believe that it was, because he was graciously invited to come, and he should have been gracious in return. And if he didn't like that, then he shouldn't have come. But he came to promote his personal agenda, and I believe it, in many ways, at least in part, it backfired on him. I mean, he's getting a little attention on the news cycle. I mean, we're talking about him right now, but I believe it backfired on him. He was booed. I mean, he was well received at first, and I think many people were probably thinking in their minds, you know what? In 8 years, when Ted Cruz is like 53 years old, we're going to vote for him if he runs for president. But at the end of that, I think many people, even in his own state of Texas, he met before a delegation today in Cleveland of Texans, the Texas delegates, and a majority of them were not happy. They were not happy. And Cruz had originally said, "Oh, it's not personal; it's about principle." Then he began to talk about some of the personal attacks within the primary. And I know it was a tough primary, and and that's just the case. But he double talked there. And look, he made a commitment. And people need to understand that. Now, I want to talk to you about a couple of things right now. I want you to hear this, and then we're going to talk about something else, about some inconsistencies over the last few election cycles when it comes to those of you that are on the Never Trump train, even though there's less people on there. I want you to listen to some comments. Brief comments by then Governor Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney ran for president in 2012. Many people did not like Mitt Romney because they felt like he had a very liberal record as governor, and he did. There's Romney Care, which in Massachusetts was many ways like Obamacare is today in the United States. Also, his position on life issues. Listen.
Shannon snuck a little extra point in there that I want to address, and that is with regards to my views with regards to protecting a woman's right to choose. And I've been very clear on that. I will preserve and protect a woman's right to choose, and am devoted and dedicated
That's all I need to hear.
Honoring my word in that regard. I will not change any provisions of...
So there you have it. That was his record. Now, he said he changed, and I took Mitt at his word. He wasn't my first choice, not at all. But I felt like that he was the better choice, the lesser of the two evils, whatever you want to call it. And all of us have applied that principle. Whether it was Mitt in 12 or whether it was John McCain in 2008. But yet there's a different standard applied when it comes to Donald Trump, at least for a few. But look, we are consolidating, we are unifying and uniting as a party. But there are a few of you that are holding out and that are causing, just a lot of disruptions. And I think you have been brainwashed. Now remember, the Hillary machine, the Clinton machine, is going to be spending about $2 billion during this election cycle. They've already spent, tens of millions of dollars just in the primaries alone. And let me tell you, as you watch television, as you read through social media, you are being brainwashed. If you are not careful, that you will be brainwashed and you will follow the Clinton narrative. Because many of them know that you're not necessarily going to vote for them, but if you stay home, then they basically have your vote anyway. So I don't know if you all are not thinking this through or what the case may be, but if you're sitting at home, or if you're writing in an insignificant third party candidate, then you're really supporting Hillary Clinton. We know this is the case with Ross Perot in 1992, in 1996, but especially in 1992, where he took votes away in many respects from George Bush Sr. and helped Bill Clinton get into the White House. That's what happened. We don't want to see that kind of scenario take place. But Ted Cruz, the man of his word, he protests too much and he talks about principle. Well, why don't you keep your promise? And I'm going to play just a clip here from Cleveland during the debates a few months ago.
Debate 7 months ago in Cleveland. A lot has transpired since then, obviously, including an RNC pledge that all of you signed, agreeing to support the party's nominee and not to launch an independent
Hats
run.
off to Marco Rubio.
In 30 seconds,
he kept his word.
Can you definitively say you will support the Republican nominee, even if that nominee is Donald J. Trump? Senator Rubio, yes or no?
I'll support the Republican nominee.
Mr. Trump, yes or no?
I'll support Donald if he's the Republican nominee, and let me tell you why. Because the Democrats have two people left in the race. One of them is a socialist. America doesn't want to be a socialist country. If you want to be a socialist country, then move to a socialist country.
Yeah.
The other one is under FBI investigation.
Hillary Clinton.
Not only is she under FBI investigation, she lied to the families of the victims of Benghazi. And anyone who lies to the families of victims who have lost their lives in the service of our country can never be the commander-in-chief of the United States. So we must defeat Hillary Clinton.
Senator Cruz, yes or no, you will support Donald Trump if he's the nominee?
Yes, because I gave my word that I would. And then what I endeavor to do every day in the Senate is do what I said I would do. Just on Tuesday, we saw an overwhelming victory in the state of Texas, where I won Texas by 17%.
He's bragging about his ethics, bragging about how he won so big in Texas, and, he's a man of his word. Well, you know what? He didn't keep his word. He protests too much, and when it comes right down to it, he doesn't keep his word. Rubio, he didn't brag about himself, saying, oh, yeah, I'll do it because I keep my word. What did Rubio say? He said, I will vote and I will endorse the nominee, even if it is Donald Trump, because I do not want the likes of Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton in the White House, and he gave the reasons why. And Cruz was just like, well, yeah, because, I'm doing all these great things, and I'm so principled. But yet he cannot even keep his word. A promise is a promise. Okay, and it wasn't, a conditional promise. Yes, but, yes, if he treats me nice, or yes, but, he's going to have to do this. No, that's not the way it is. So we're going to see what happens, but, I think many of us, if we're not careful, we can become influenced by social media, by TV, and we can give the election away to the liberal side. It's either that, or there are some of you that are closet Hillary supporters, and this holding out with Ted thing is just a way of like quietly cheering on Hillary. Yeah, go Hillary, go Hillary. It's like, I'm wondering, Mike Pence, governor of Indiana, last night was talking about so many of the conservative issues. And, they say, oh, Donald Trump's going to betray us. But yet he just picked a vice presidential candidate that happens to be very conservative, have a very conservative record. And he talked about the sanctity of life and all those things. I'm pro-life. I believe that life begins at conception and that you have to preserve life. And that's why I want to see Supreme Court justices that believe that as well. Also other issues, of course, First Amendment, Second Amendment, upholding those amendments as well. But a lot of issues. But maybe there are those of you out there that maybe in the back of your mind, you like those leftist progressive ideas. Maybe you are pro-choice and you don't want to admit it. So you say, you know what, I'm just going to pick a candidate that I know is not going to win. We don't have an established third party. If you want an established third party, then work on it, at the beginning of the campaign, not now. It's not going to work. But sometimes I wonder, are many of you out there really conservative, or are you liberal? Because you know what's going to happen. The nominee has been chosen. And whether you like Cruz or Rubio or these other guys, they didn't get it. Okay? They did not secure the nomination. So I'm coming to you saying, you need to, take inventory and figure out who you are. Because this so-called holdout for principle business, the same guy who's championing that cause and can't even keep his word and said that he would support the nominee and he's not, it makes no sense. You need to ask yourself the question, are you really a liberal? Do you subconsciously really want Hillary to win? I'm beginning to wonder. And if you're that way, fine, but at least say it. I at least admire the Democrats out there, the liberals that say, hey, you know what? I'm pro this, I'm pro that. I'm liberal as can be, and I'm voting for Hillary. At least be honest about it. Tonight, Donald Trump will conclude the convention with a speech. There'll be several speeches tonight, but he's going to be the keynote speaker, and it should be very interesting. I'm looking forward to seeing it. We'll be watching it, and wow, what a campaign. But look, we have to stand for principle and get personal agendas out of it. Okay, we cannot let the next, Ronald Reagan appointed Scalia 30 years ago. So many of you, I want to close with this. I know this has been a little bit longer video than usual, but those of you that are holding out, knowing what will happen when you do a write-in candidate, and then Hillary Clinton, if she wins, she appoints very liberal, progressive, leftist Supreme Court justices, and they begin to change things up. These are lifetime appointments. Where are we going to be 30 years from now? Oh, but, we're going to hold out for Cruz because Cruz said so. Or implied it, I should say. We have got to get serious here and think about what's important for the sake of our country and not for a candidate. Let me tell you this. When Ted Cruz got up on that stage, I was very hopeful. And I was thinking, I may just vote for this guy in 8 years should he run. But you know what? I don't think that's going to happen. Not a person that won't keep his word like that. No, I'd vote for Rubio or some other guy first. This is Magellan. It is the 21st day of July 2016. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel, Liberty Freedom Radio channel, here on YouTube, and also our website, libertyfreedomradio.com. God bless you guys. Have a great day. Bye-bye for now.